Hi everyone, I'm recording this video to summarize the research we do for the solution validation scan result for security policies. And we have two scenarios we tested, and scenario 1 and scenario 2. For scenario 2, I will record a separate video, and scenario 2 is also more smooth. We don't see much problems, but for scenario 1, we do see user struggles. And that's why I did 2 iterations. The first iteration is 3 users, another iteration with another 3 users with some changes. And I'm going to show you like what exactly I changed. So here are difficulty and some changes, something become easier, and the most difficulty part is actually at the beginning change the policy site. So what happened is actually for now, because we have a policy, when we create a new policy type, we will default to one type of policy, which is network. And there will be scan execution and the scan result policy. So if we default to network, and we will have a lot of things be here, and we see actually user didn't thought about, so they need to change the policy type, and you can see their struggles. And actually, one user even didn't manage to finish the task. He didn't manage to change the policy, and he thinks it's done. Let's check it out.
So these two people should approve a code before merging. And let's try to create this policy button here. And let's pick a name for it. Okay, I just wanted to pick a name for it. I think I should be able to.
I think people just
add more to it.
Like try to focus on the things here and didn't think about too much about others.
Okay, policy
so
type,
after they struggled, they finally found the policy type is clickable. And they didn't think about, okay, maybe it's wrong policy type, but because nothing else is clickable, so they go there. And I think it's similar with other people. I can quickly check it.
Each time is okay. Each time there are critical vulnerabilities. So let's see here. I guess I can name it.
Yeah, okay. So everyone directly go to the name, description, and click everywhere and try to find out is not clickable. Same with the last user. So you can see everyone just try to click on the field, didn't look from the top to down, like, oh, first I need to think about this, I need to fill in the name and stuff. So they basically, everyone skip the policy type and go forward here. And they didn't thought about any like options that they need to change the policy type. So they didn't came to users' mind that they need to change this policy. I think that's the most annoying part, that we need to tell them first think about the policy type. And what I did, the changes is, so if you remember, that's now create a new policy. But we default to 1 at a page that user need to first do select a policy type. And I think this definitely can improve in the future. We can make it even not a drop down, but a radio button or something, and explain what does each scan policy do at the completely first step. But I think for a small MVC, for now, we can definitely we should add this page to help user. And you can see that from the result, it's become easier.
Okay, let's see.
So for this user, he read the description and directly choose the correct type of the policy. For some other users, they didn't choose the correct type, but
So
it came to their
execution
name.
policy.
So this user also tried to
Let's
just
do-
change the rules.
I was just going to name it. Okay, that's the only reason. So I'm going to do. I also description fine. I don't know what this does. So I'm just trying to think. So okay, if a pipeline is run, that's not applicable. Also not applicable. So maybe that's not the right policy. Can I go back? Let's go back to security.
Yeah, so this user directly said, oh, maybe that's not the correct policy. So this man said, actually, we want to put for the user which doesn't appears in the first iteration. We didn't see people think about, oh, like policy type, maybe this is not red policy type. So even people struggle a little bit at the beginning, sees like play around the page, cannot find what they want to do. They will think about the policy type because we highlighted for them. So this is the first big difficulties. The second difficulties is originally the flow works like when you create a policy here. This is already the change, the original one. So the original one is you here, new policy, and you create a merge request. And after you create a merge request, you go to merge request page, and like if people can merge it directly, I think that's like kind of good. But if user cannot merge it, they probably need some help to dig into it. There's some pipeline run or whatever happens. It's probably happened quite often. And they want to go back to the policy list. The only way they can do it is either through the GitLab top menu, like navigation and stuff. And if they know that they're in a different project, they need to change project. But actually from the data, we know that no one knows they're actually in a different project. No one noticed that, and no one knows why it's changed to a different project. Actually, I don't think you need to know, because we will change this architecture very soon, and this is the limitation of our current MVC implementation. So we don't need to fully explain it, but we need to make it clear for user. But for this page, let user found this blue button is very difficult. Even I already like in the task says, could you try to go back to the policy list where you originally created the policy? I did mention this name in the task, still no one actually pay attention to this thing. So you can see it. So it's very difficult for them to navigate back.
So let me try to go to the let's go to menus and projects.
Yeah, so basically this user just
So we are
navigate
project,
around
we are
and try to find it.
policies. And we are
The same with the other
Under the
users.
policy.
So this user try to read a little bit of this page, but you can see this user's mouse, they directly skip the first part and just read the page below, and then stay on this page, and from the navigation menu, try to find a way to go back to the policy page. The same with the third user. So what I did is changes. So first, I changed the button from create a merge request to generate merge request to create policies. To make it more clear that your goal is to create a policy, not to create a merge request. And also to actually avoid confusion, like why you have a create merge request test twice. Because if you have merge request button here, and here another button to create merge request, there's one user mentioned why I need to create merge request twice. So to avoid that, I changed the button there. And after you click on create merge request, actually I direct user back to the list. I didn't let them stay on the merge page. And here we just tell them that you create a pending merge request, and we show this pop-up popover by default. So we let them to see this is pending, and they need to click on the MR icon and actually to merge it, enable it. So this is not like super straightforward. I think if I can put the MR list here, it will be easier. But because probably when they update it, they will still have a MR there. I don't want to combine actually this two icon for now. And so that's why I keep it open, keep it as two separate area, the pending batch and the open merge request. And even though it's not like, I think it's not optimal, but it's still better. Like no people actually have problem from this page to enable the policy. So you can see that.
Pending status, what do you think it is in pending status? Oh, here we go.
So either still like try
familiarize myself with the layout here.
Get understand what is this page.
Okay, I see. Here we go.
And then you understand that okay, now they are enabling it. For some user, I think when they are more familiar with GitLab is even quicker for them. I think this is the user that who is more familiar with GitLab.
There's it. How do I? No. How do I merge it? Where's the merge myself right here? Merge. Done. This is enabled now. Perfect. Yes, I did.
So we'll see that like for actually this flow is become less troubling for the user because we automatically direct them to policy page, and each time when they do some task, they always go from the policy page and to the merge request, and when they do something in the merge request, and we direct them back automatically for them to the policy page. So we try to avoid user to struggle around navigating from the merge request to the policy page. I think there are still things we can improve, but for the MVC, probably this is good enough. And what I think could be improved is like to have the merge request actually here. So this is pending. We know that this is pending for creation, and we directly put the merge request here. And also there are some other changes like I did. I'm not sure we want to include it, but I think we should, because for example, when user updated the policy, so I think we should also set the change is actually pending changes. And then they have the open merge request here and the close the merge request. So we know that like we actually tell user to go to open merge request, we should have a title here. And to make it more clear, this is open merge request, and user can go there and check it. So to summarize all the changes I made, so I think what's definitely we should change is we need to add this selection of policy type, and also I will do a follow-up issue to make this even better, because there are a lot of empty spaces. We didn't actually tell user that which one is for which one. We still see that user, like only one user directly choose the right type, then others are choose a different type, but they remember, oh, maybe this is not the right type, they change it. So we can make it better to, from there, we don't want the user to go to next page to see they're wrong. Here we can already help them to directly choose the right policy type. And another change is like change the button from generate merge request to from create merge request to generate merge request to create policy to make it more clear. This is long button, but I think for this case, like longer is better than not clear. And another change is the redirect. We should redirect to user like create merge request back to the list and let them know that this is pending and they need to merge it to enable it. So for having like the pending changes and the pending creation differentiation to buttons, I think this could be a separate issue. And it would be nice that we tell user that not only when they are creating the policy is pending, we also tell them that the change is pending. And for the popover, like another changes I made is the popover before, I think is on the top. Let me double check. Yeah, the popover is on the top. Like I changed it to the bottom because I don't want user to block what currently they are saying. They can block other policies, but they should see the current policy they're doing. So the popover is at the bottom and add a title here. Says open merge request. And another one is closed merge request. So I think that's all the changes. I will go to reflect them in the design. And let me know what you think. Thank you.